Hello, everybody. Welcome to Process Over Goals. I hope you're all having a great time in life and doing great and focusing on the process every day. You know, I am doing a lot of journaling, and this is just from April so far. And, I think it's interesting to journal. You can feel your emotions, you can understand some of the things that's going through your head at the time, and go back and read things. And, you know, here in early April, I kind of wrote, I kind of suck, but I'm getting kind of good as well. I passed an evaluation, I failed two, and I failed one test. And, you know, it's like I'm making some money, but I'm certainly not killing it the way I want to be killing it. I seem to be losing a lot of evaluations. I seem to be writing a lot of bad words in here. But, I keep reading my journals. I keep going over what I'm doing wrong. And, as I'm coming sort of down to the bottom here, a few of the things I think are important that I want to point out today. This idea, master the art of acting without emotion, expectation, or passion, acting based on facts, and it's like you have a process, you know what to do, but sometimes there's just these missing pieces of the puzzle, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. I mean, not everything's 100% anyway. So the more you can act consistently without emotion, without expecting the market to do one thing or the other, just focusing on the process. And you can see I wrote again here, I'm feeling very broken right now. This was a couple weeks ago. I can't stick to anything. I'm trading incorrectly, and again, why I started this channel is to try to hold myself accountable to my system. And again, you can see a lot of the words in here. It's a lot of frustration. It's a lot of disappointment. There are a few things here and there where I'll say something good, like, but. You see, I wrote here, such a frustrating day, but I finally took a shot on the pro and made $400, so I'm going to get another payout tonight. So you see, like, can I fucking trade with the trend, please? Then here I just passed a test, but I did trade with the trend, but there was a lot of pain. I remember that trade. It was like, I was like $150 away from passing the test, and all of a sudden it just went against me, and now I'm 500 away from passing the test, but I stayed with the trend. I was able to get it. So now I'm thinking I just want to keep this account, trade it smart, and take it slow and steady. And sometimes I write some notes, like it's starting to seem like the market's one big distraction tool. It's designed to mess you up early, then it reverses the trend, stops everyone out, and then goes right back in the trend. And I'm getting stuck in that reversal. That's the biggest problem here. I'm trying to catch the small trades, and I'm missing out on the bigger ones. So here, April 14th, just a couple days ago, got caught in the downdraft, and it cost me a test that was almost passed. Not smart. I still do not trust in my system. I mean, how important is that line right there, right? I still do not trust in my system. And that is the death. You have to trust in the process. You have to find that evidence that it works. As I'm reading this, I'm realizing how much negativity I have, how much I'm not thinking correctly or thinking with any positivity. I lost this account because I didn't trade my system, and the break came. I was too invested in this stupid test account instead of focusing on the account that's going to make me money. There was no buy signal. The market was up and strong, but the trend was higher prices. And, I just got killed on it. I was long without any signals, even though the market was up. But the market's been a horrible thing lately. So I'm starting to try to get a new routine. I failed it the first day. I passed it the second day. Even though I lost two tests, I did trade with the signals, and that's going to happen, and I can be okay with that. And then, again, got faked out today. I was short. But, I'm just continuing to get faked out. And I really think that this right here is the biggest problem. and that is FOMO, fear of missing out, and being impulsive. And I need to add into my process that part of the process is don't act impulsively. Act with a system, give some thought to where you're entering. Don't just jump in because you think, oh my God, I'm going to miss the big move. Because that's it. That's the killer. I'm going to miss the big move, right? And then, of course, you don't miss the big move. Of course, it pulls back, and you would have had a chance to get in at a better, more reasonable price and possibly get that bounce and make some money. So it's tough, man. It's a lot to work on. And it's like the ultimate learning process. And sometimes I wonder, like, is there an easier way to make money? But it's not only about making money. It's about conquering all the fears in your life and conquering all the things. So, I'm going to keep at it. I may need to look at other sources of income if I'm not making enough from this. But I'm excited to keep going and keep learning and keep making my trades as they come along. So hope everyone's doing well. Follow your plan. Follow the process. Don't worry about your goals. They'll come if you follow the process. And I will see you in the next one.